Greetings everyone, and welcome to another video on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Today I want to test out the updated Geonosian reworked squad with Brood Alpha in the lead. I just unlocked Brood Alpha today at 4 stars, so we are going to test it like this with no Zetas, but I have gotten everyone to at least Gear 7, and all of their abilities are leveled up to the point of what do you call it? Like they're leveled up to rank 7. Everything. They all have decent mods. Obviously, this isn't going to be an 18 mod, but like I want to test this out today, and we're going to test it in Galactic War because that's about the only place I can really test it. So real quick, I want to go over the kits and what's different about them. On my other screen, I have opened the 4 reworks, and then we'll talk about Brood Alpha. So first of all, for Poggle the Lesser, for his main ability, now he has an 80% chance to inflict ability block for 1 turn, and it does more damage for each debuffed ally. So that part's the Omega, so you'll be able to see which parts are the Omegas now, which normally I wouldn't consider. Wouldn't concern myself too much on the Omegas, but I'm basically taking a team, and a lot of players will be taking a team that they don't use at all, so none of them are Omega'd. So I want you to see which Omegas are what, so that can help inform which upgrades you may want to make in the future. Warlords Resolved, this is a brand new ability. Dispels all debuffs from all allies, otherwise it would just be Poggle himself. Gain 4% turn meter for each debuff dispelled. Grant all Separatist allies offense up for 3 turns, then call another targeted ally to assist. Archduke, now I did max this out already because I do think that it might come in handy. But just 30% offense, droid allies recover 10% health whenever they attack out of turn, or damage a target locked enemy. So, if, say, you're, like, this is aimed more at new players, but if you're starting off and you want to do a Separatist team and you have some of the droids, but you don't have Grievous, this is not a bad leadership ability for a Separatist droid team that doesn't have General Grievous. Alright, and then Hive Tactics. This is a new unique that all the original 4 will now have, and this ties in directly to the Hive Mind buff. Poggle has 5% evasion, and this is all brand new completely. Separatist allies without Hive Mind have 25% offense and gain additional for 25% offense for each defeated ally. Hive Mind bonus, Geos remove 1% turn meter from target enemy when they attack out of turn. And then the Separatist bonus, once again, if you're running this without the Geonosians, without Brood Alpha, or without Grievous, Poggle is a not bad leader. He is required for one of the dark side territory battles, I think, for Geonosis. I know he's needed in the front row. He is one of the hero characters. Alright, and as you can see, I've got him at gear 10.2. Not bad. 1 Omega on him, and decent speed mod. You want him going fast, and his ability block is very nice. Alright, next, Geonosian Soldier. He had a very mild rework. He didn't gain an ability either. He just got Hive Tactics. So his basic, now just deal damage and inflict tenacity down, just hits harder on the Omega. Swarm, deal physical damage to target enemy and call an ally to assist. If both the Geonosians, deal 25% more damage. And if it's Hive Mind, you get to select who it is. And if you're running it with the team I'm going to be setting up, you'll be hitting with a Geonosian no matter what, so it's going to hit hard. Spy seems to be a pretty good one to call in for this. And then his Hive Tactics, Geo allies have plus 15% critical chance, and he gains 25% turn meter when scoring a crit hit. And then if you have Hive Mind, plus 35% defense penetration. So a lot of these characters don't have Zetas. In fact, as far as I'm aware, only Alpha has Zetas. So this is a new First Order level team where 1 Zeta is really going to make the difference. Alright, fun fact, your primary tank. You will have Brood Alpha's Brute as well, so he won't be the only tank, but he's the main tank. So this is a big one, Browbeat. Deal physical damage and dispel all buffs on them. Recover 20% of his health at full power if any buffs were dispelled this way. Very simple, but that dispel is huge because he's going to be assisting all the time, and those assists are going to be dispelling. This is really good for, like, What's coming to my mind is the Galactic Republic later. Okay, Subjugate. Taunts for 2 turns, inflicts offense down for a target enemy, then remove 40% turn meter. This cannot be evaded, so this is good for keeping a target under control, gets a steady taunt up, and then it plays very nicely with his Hive Tactics, which is 50% counter chance. In addition, attacks outside of his turn. Oh, wait, well, he gets 15% potency. It's 10% without the Omega. Hive Mind bonus. When he gains taunt, he gains defense up, health up, and health steal up for 2 turns, and other Geos gain those buffs for 2 turns when he loses taunt. So if he gets dispelled, everyone else just becomes tankier. And with Hive Mind, that's super good. Alright, and then Spy. Spy is one of the big winners of this rework because he gained a whole new ability through Illicit Intel. He also, and Hive Tactics was reworked, which was his unique that was redone earlier, so now it's been upgraded for real. So, okay, Feint, damage to target enemy, crit chance up for 2 turns, and if you're Omega, this can't be evaded. This is definitely one of those priority Omegas. Silent Strike, this is a big one. Deal physical damage to target. If Spy is stealth and the ability is used, dispel all status effects on himself and the target, and deal 40% more damage for each attack effect dispelled this way. That's buffs and debuffs. This can't be evaded. So you have all the good stuff, and it just hits a little harder on the Omega, so that one can wait. Illicit Intel, this is his new ability. Grant all Separatist allies potency up for 2 turns, and then expose all enemies for 2 turns. This cannot be evaded. If you add the Omega, you reduce Silent Strike cooldown by 1. So this is a 4 cooldown. Silent Strike is 3, so you could have it on a 2 cooldown. And then his bonus, Spy gains stealth for 3 turns at the start of each encounter, and whenever he scores a critical hit during their turn, whenever and he gains stealth on crits. And then during his turn, whenever a Geo ally inflicts a debuff on any enemy, Geonosian Spy gains 35% turn meter. And then there is a Hive Mind bonus with the Omega. Whenever an enemy is exposed, they lose stealth. Kind of situational, but overall, he's the big winner because he gained a whole new ability, which makes him stronger overall and helps his ship. Actually, what do you need to level up? Nope, never mind, not happening. I'm going to take him up to Gear 8 soon. I'm also going to finish farming him real quick because he is a 10-part node now. So just now that Alpha is unlocked, I'm just going to finish him next couple days. Alright, so I need to assemble the squad. This will be a Grand Arena squad for me in the future. I don't know how useful it'll be right off the bat. This will be my first time seeing it in its full power. And it is going to be really interesting because now, finally, the Geonosians, this is Brood Alpha. He's not that strong because he's only 4 stars, so 62,000, so not strong enough to be where I'd be comfortable taking it into Grand Arena right now. But if once Brood Alpha's up, Spy is up, and they just get some better gear, maybe to like Gear 10, this should be a bringable team. Alright, so Galactic War is a pretty good way to test squads out if you don't just auto-sim it. I've been using this to test out different squads, and now, like as you can see, I've been playing around with my Separatist droids in there to see how they're feeling when I make certain upgrades. Feels really good now that I put, what do you call it on? The Zeta on B1. Alright, first time taking the Geos into battle. Let's see how this does. And we'll have a variety of teams to face, some pretty unorthodox ones. So like this first couple will be pretty straightforward, and it's encouraging us to use conscription, but I'm actually gonna wait on that. Oh right, I didn't go over Brood Alpha's abilities. So as you can see now, everyone's just assisting each other. So let's take out Chirrut real quick. Let's call Spy. Oh wow, we didn't, well I think it's basic attacks. Yeah, so if they survive the basic, they get all assisted. And by the way, having Brute at the beginning is, that is a Zeta, so once I'm good with the Separatist droids, I will be putting the Zetas needed on Brood Alpha. So he is a double Zeta character, but comparative to other teams, like the fact that this works pretty much on just a lot of Omegas and then Brood Alpha, it's pretty good. So, right, let's go back and take a look at Brood Alpha because I forgot to. Okay, so he's got a lot, as you can see, and I did go ahead and max out the Brute. This cost a chunk of Omegas and a lot of stuff. Like, at the start of today, I had over 300 of purples, and now here I am with barely enough held on for a Zeta. I'm mostly holding this because I know I'm going to come into a lot of Zetas soon. Grand Arena's almost over, and it looks like I'll get one from that. And then Zeta Day's Thursday, and we're doing a territory war, and we have a new strategy that seems to be doing pretty well. So I'm confident that I'll have a new Zeta soon. So his 2 Zetas are 10% more damage for each buffed enemy, and Queen's Will, which is summon the Brute at the start. Sorry. I think Queen's Will is the more important of the Zeta. Now, his other 3 abilities. Shield Bash is another Dispel on crits and just hits like a truck. Glaive Sweep, dispel all buffs on all enemies, deal physical damage to all enemies, expose them for 2 turns, then remove 15% turn meter from debuffed enemies. The Dispel is on the Omega, and then Conscription is what summons the Brute. Dispel all... summon a Brute, and then Geonosian allies gain 15% turn meter and recover 35% health and protection. So it is also a heal. It's on a 3 cooldown, which is why I didn't want to use it at the beginning of the battle, because I knew we'd be done real quick. And then the Brute is actually down here. So it's basic, deal physical damage and taunt. Deal physical damage to target enemy and call all Geos to assist. 25% offense for each Geo ally and 100% counter chance. And then he scales to the Summoner. So the stronger Alpha gets, the stronger Brood gets. So this character is very much... like, you want him powerful quick. So he's obviously in the favorites, and he's going to be a very important one to get geared up. So, alright, battle number 2. Now that we've gone over what Brood Alpha does, let's go ahead and test this. Spy should gain a pretty nice power boost when we upgrade him tomorrow. Alright, so this is still a rather underleveled team, so I'm not expecting it to really take that long. As you can see, we're just obliterating everybody. It is a little weird on the animations, I'll admit, but... And it's going to be even weirder when we have Brute in here. At this point, it just doesn't feel like it's worth getting Brute out. Because eventually it'll be a Zeta, and that won't be an issue then. So I'm hoping I can push towards the end. There is always the chance we're going to run into a Revan, and that sucks when that happens. I can remember back when I was still like getting leveled up to do what do you call it? Like, to just be able to sim this stuff, that like I remember sometimes I would run into Traya teams, and I didn't have a Traya counter back then, so it was like, god damn it. Because then you would miss a day, and I'm just autoing at this point because it's not really that difficult. Let's see what a Silent Strike does. Yeah, as I thought, Spy is going to be a pretty big source of damage. Eventually, Poggle will be a good source of turn meter, and then Brood Alpha's the healer, kind of. Now, they all heal themselves, especially when Sunfac's attacking. Because he heals himself, and they all... this hive mind has equalized all their health together. So to take them down, the easiest way to do it is AoEs or a very specific, very niche Jawa team that just kind of makes them blow themselves up, which is okay when they're on defense, but if you're... if you have the team, it's useless on defense against the Geos because, you know, you can't force the Geos to be the ones attacking, and you'll know to just take out Scavenger first. Okay, so this gives turn meter, I think. Oh, and calls an assist, so let's call Spy. Yep. Alright, their main healer's gone. Let's get rid of the false Geo. Silent Strike. So yeah, this team's pretty good. It's definitely hard to beat. It kind of gives me the vibe of a contracted Bosk team. Because when that happens, you know, Bosk and everyone is just regenerating constantly. So hopefully we'll get to the point where we'll face teams that can actually get some attacks off. Alright, I didn't go over the leadership. Yeah, like the first half's usually pretty easy. I'm hoping we'll pop into something more meta, and otherwise we just get hodgepodge teams. So Geo Swarm, 1500 max health, max protection, 50% health steal, recover 3% basic or protection when they use basic. So yeah, I mean this team is basically a giant wall, and you, unless you've got characters that can very specifically eliminate people early. Damn, 1300. You know what? I feel like it's time to get Brute out. So now we have a 6th Geo. Let's call him into attack. So now we're really going to work our way through these guys. Good, no one got revived. So this is Sunfac. Poggle. If Brute's based on Alpha, he's not going to be super fast. Like, I made sure to get enough, at least get a decent amount of speed on him, but it doesn't look like Brute's too fast, because he's stunned. Great. But as you can see, everyone's health is equalizing, and then they're all recovering protection pretty quick. And Brute not having protection's not a big deal, because Brute can just, Brute just gets summoned back later. But yeah, this team's doing just fine right now. Oh, clones. Well, some clones. This will be a better test. And again, we're missing the equivalent of 4 total stars from this. And on Brood Alpha, too, is, like, not the character you want being weak, but he is the newest character, so Direx. Oh, he survived that one. Yeah, so as you can see, we can't summon Alpha, or we can't summon Brute right now. Those AoE attacks off of people like Boba, they're really nasty. So if I had to pick the 3 teams that kind of come to mind right now, and 2 of them are kind of branches of each other, Palpatine / Traya come to mind is really good at defeating this, and then Padme's team, because the constant assisting is just going to make a Padme team spiral out of control, because they'll gain so much damage. Fives is really annoying like that. But he's dead. Alright, let's take you out. So one of the bonuses is Spy's gonna dispel his own stealth and his own offense up, so he's going to be really good for that Silent Strike. Like, that ability is going to be one of your biggest damage output abilities on this team. And again, I'm hoping we get something a little more meta to test against. Oops, meant to use the other ability. Because right now, we're just kind of mowing through people with our basics, and as you can see, we're having almost no lost protection or health. Like, this is definitely just mowing through them. Versus if I had brought in the Geos yesterday with, like, my Sidious lead, totally different. Okay, here we go. A Old Republic Jedi team. Low level, but at least they'll actually have some synergy under their leader. And Ahsoka's not half bad. Alright, so opening. Didn't get all the exposes, but we still killed Qui-Gon. Bring in Brute. Let's actually work on Barriss. I think I accidentally pulled Sunfac on that one. Wow, okay. Oh, right. So part of the reason I did fully upgrade Brute is because that last bit gives him 75% extra counter, which means he always counters. And while the counterattack doesn't draw in all the others, it still recovers his protection, and it still triggers a lot of hive mind bonuses. So it's still a very good tactic. Alright, who we got next? Another hodgepodge. Come on, like, you'd think people in their 70s would actually have decent-ish teams set up for this, but I guess they just throw the kitchen sink. Lol. I'm just calling in spy left and right. And I'm gonna use Silent Strike to kill Dooku next. For that very reason. Oh, we have to deal with that. Well, would you look at that? Sunfac attacked, therefore dispelled. And that just hit for 45k. Yeah, no, Spy's Silent Strike is definitely your big damage dealer now. Like, even those, the old Republic teams, or not the Galactic Republic teams I talked about under Padme, they'll dispel all that bonus protection first, then hit you like a truck. That could be a real nasty opponent. Like, this is definitely going to be a very high-quality team. I am very happy with these test results. Like, again, not quite Grand Arena ready off the bat, but one Zeta and that's changed. Because then it's immediately 6-on-5. And who knows? God, double exposed on them. Alright, so that's a good full-powered Tarkin. Yeah, so as you can see, the basics don't hit that hard, but this can be a good mop-up team at some point. I might use it for... Oh, I had some lag there. I might use it in back row off defense this next round of Grand Arenas, just because that would save a better team for offense. But this is a team that I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm liking to use them. It feels good. It's cool also, just the whole swarm. Like, you're dealing with a swarm. And again, they just need some powering up and they'll hit a lot stronger. So Geonosis territory battle needs them pretty heavily. Like, Poggle's a hero character and Brood Alpha is too. And they're both needed to unlock Wat Tambor. So unfortunately, I won't be strong enough to unlock Wat for a while yet. But this is... Wait, what was the enemy team? Okay, Chewie. Ah, this is a classic. So you're gonna need them. So this is definitely like, if your guild is working towards doing well in Geonosis Darkside battle, this is the team for you for sure. Like, they're just absolutely undisputedly good. And I think having a wall of good Geonosians would be a good territory battle, or territory war. Like, I think a wall of this would be good. Zeta geared, obviously, but I think this is gonna definitely be really hard to deal with in, in territory war. And in Grand Arena, this is gonna be a scary team. Like, because I'm not even gonna say, like, okay, obviously Darth Revan can beat it, but, like, Jedi Revan would, once the mark is gone, that would be difficult. Because unless you mark and take out Brood Alpha, and he's tanky, so it's not even going to be a straightforward, like, you can guarantee take him out. Ooh, Enfys Nest. Actually, yeah, that's actually a very difficult opponent. I'd like to see how Nest works versus this. Actually, let's take out their healer first. Yeah, no, this is cool. And Visas Mar, you don't see her enough. Okay, this actually is definitely a situation where I vote that it's worth it to summon the Brute. Because we're dealing with multiple AoE abilities. So, yeah, multiple AoEs, a lot of dots. See, this is where Poggle's specials would really kick in, because then he could just... Alright, we're going to hit Nest again. Okay, so we were able to take out Nest. Never mind. may not be a bring in the brute situation after all. Okay, so that's an interesting one. We just had Soldier get pretty thoroughly whomped. But as you can see, he's already regenerating. I'll go ahead and have Sunfac actually taunt. As you can see, we're inflicting plenty of debuffs. Yeah, no, like, and Soldier is already back up to half protection. So, again, unless you have really strong abilities, this is a team that's going to be hard to handle. Again, you got to take out Alpha to kill the equalization and the bonuses. Remember, this is not a fully upgraded team. This is actual, like, this is, oh, hey, look, it's Sunfac. I do need to finish a ship at some point. Oh, speak of the devil. It's one of the counter teams. This is perfect. This is how we can really test it. And we're coming in a little wounded. But this will be a really good way to test the team. Alright, let's get some turn meter and get Brood Alpha in. Let's get Brute up. So now we have a full 6. Alright, Nihilus is priority number 1 because he can just straight up kill somebody. But Vader, all of them except for Dooku have AoE abilities, although it looks like just we are overpowering them pretty thoroughly. Yeah, actually Sidious would be easier to take out at this point. Yeah, no, the damage on this team is insane. So we called everybody in to assist, and then they all assisted again. That ability is huge. Now, we want to save Silent Strike for Dooku, because he's going to have stealth and other stuff. Oh man, we are double stunned. So tanky opponents is where this team's not going to have a great time. Of course, you got rid of it right before whatever. Alright, and one of the counter teams was defeated. On the first try ever with this team, we cleared a full Galactic War, which is basically my base requirement for a team to be considered worthy of Grand Arena is can you go from start to finish. And until I put that Zeta on, Grievous's team actually wasn't worthy of that because he would kill his own team as the thing went on. Alright. Well, let's celebrate our hard-earned victory with some shop currencies. But yeah, now we have it. We saw the Geonosians. They're good. A hugely, hugely, hugely recommended team for beginning characters. Like, I know you need Brood Alpha, though, is the main thing. So Brood Alpha is found in, what is it, 7A? 8D. Okay, so he's unfortunately late game, and he's what really brings this together. So you won't be able to enjoy this until you can hit 8A, but then I would farm him ASAP. Poggle is bought in the Fleet Arena. Geonosis Soldier can be found in the very, very first Cantina, so he's a really good one to get early. Sunfac is purchased in the Guild store and the Fleet Arena store. And I believe, and Spy is also 4D, so he's also in the Arena store, or in the Cantina. So a lot of Cantina energy for this team, but oh my, is it worth it. This team's going to be really good. I look forward to playing them out in the next Grand Arena and seeing how that turns out. Alright everyone, good luck with your Grand Arenas, and good luck getting your Geonosians. This is definitely a team I recommend getting farmed up. It's really, really good. Farewell.